Ladies and gentlemen and in-betweeners, on this episode of On the Rocks, an actor, an artist, and an author walk into a bar. Sounds like a joke. Nope, it's tonight. We have Sci-Fi Channel Van Helsing's Women That Kick Ass, Jennifer Cheon Garcia. Yes, there we go. Street artist and filmmaker Tyson Knight, author Lindsey Lowell, and my guest co-host, the queen of the zoo and the red carpet, Dennis Pastorizo. Yay! And me, your favorite host, with the deepest voice. So raise a glass and let the games begin.
Cheers!
And most poor suckers are starving to death.
I'd like to propose a toast.
This is On the Rocks with Alexander, where I drink with your favorite celebrities as we talk about fashion, entertainment, pop culture, reality TV, and, well, that's about it. So pop a cork, lean back, and raise a glass to On the Rocks.
Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night.
Oh. Lord, it's going to be a bumpy night. Buns and bows and pantyhose, On the Rocks podcast, the place where we're too glam to give a damn. Everybody is saying, I'm having a vegan Thanksgiving.
Ew.
Everybody is welcome at the table of On the Rocks, but do you have to say it every time? So I posted, I'm having a vegan Thanksgiving. I'm serving an actual vegan.
Oh, please.
Do you know how many people defriended me? I'm not even kidding you.
Really?
Yeah, it's like we can't even say anything as a joke.
It's a joke.
Like I'm obviously not.
People need to lighten up a little bit.
Yeah.
We know that wouldn't taste good.
Well, not only that, I would never have a vegan in my house.
Here, here.
Yeah, and they say, because they're supposed to be more fit. Not always the case, and they're always in a bad mood.
They're whiny.
That's because they want
and grumpy.
meat deep down inside.
I'm just kidding, by the way. We love our vegan listeners.
I love vegan food.
Yeah, vegan food is good. It can be.
Love dirt.
Is a French fry a vegan food?
I don't know. I went somewhere recently where it was like an all vegan menu and like it tasted like the regular
Dirt.
stuff. Like no, it tasted like the real food.
Okay, but we have like the Impossible Burger.
Yeah, oh, that
You don't
tastes
have
good to
like the
me.
Impossible Salad that's like meat that tastes like lettuce.
I
Like,
did have
nobody's doing
tempeh
that.
today that tasted like salmon.
Salmon's okay.
That sounds
Was
fishy.
it good?
Wow, we got the author. On that note, thank you to our sober listeners for tuning in. We thank you and love you too. Thank you for holding our hair back and driving us home. Speaking of drinking, if you are drinking, the official vodka of On the Rocks is Equality Vodka. What? It is so good. 20% from every bottle sold helps fund nonprofits that work to secure equality for everyone.
Oh, nice.
It's amazing.
Visit them at equalityvodka.com and social media. They also have a giveaway for the holidays that we're going to talk about right after our break. Also, our featured sponsor today is iHoney or iHoney. iHoney. High-end eyewear and accessories that combine classic styles with contemporary urban aesthetics. They have a line of crowns, wearable crowns, like black leather, gold, patent, clear. But it's like Archie crown.
Did you bring that crown?
Did you bring that?
She travels with
From my
it.
crown.
You're too much, girl.
I'm a princess, honey.
She hasn't had a ticket since she started driving because, and it comes out and then it comes like, you're free, girl.
Isn't that nice?
Anyway, but these crowns are great for brunch, club wear, or just wearing around the house. Go to iHoney, and that's EYEHUNEE.com. The show is brought to you by Straw Hut Media and Here TV. You can watch and listen to every one of our now 195th episodes.
Congratulations.
Yeah, that thing. You can do that. I can't. I'm like the most embarrassing Latino. I cannot roll my R's at all.
What?
Yeah. I wasn't. And you know, girl, I wasn't even allowed on my own quinceañera because I couldn't do it.
I'm a white girl and I can roll my R's. Oh,
Girl, that's why you're very popular in Newport County.
you know it.
Anyway, go to ontherocksradioshow.com. You can watch and listen to any of our episodes for free. New episodes drop every Thursday. Hello to our listeners around the nation on iHeartRadio, Stitcher, TuneIn, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, Roku. I'm excited to announce we are now on Pandora's new podcast section.
Nice.
Watch us on YouTube and Here TV. Of course, we are on the Facebook pages of Trending Now, GED Magazine, and I Love Gay LGBT. And of course, On the Rocks Radio Show Facebook, add and subscribe to us on your favorite podcast player. Like us on Twitter and Instagram. Got to do all the social medias. If you're listening to the show, just do it. Just give a minute. At On the Rocks on Air. Send me an email. Book me for a wedding, funeral, quinceañera, bris. I don't care. I will show up.
Yeah.
Let me introduce my co-host for today. Everyone's favorite jumping bean. Is that racist?
No, I don't care.
Okay. Hey. Dennis.
That's how I feel.
because he literally catalogs in like a Steven Spielberg production way how he wakes up to the minute he goes to bed.
Love it.
Dennis Pastorizo, TV host and journalist, continues reaching great heights with his career in both English and Spanish language media in the U.S. thanks to his national talk show, The Zoo, airing Monday through Thursday, by the way, on LATV.
Yes.
He was born in New Jersey. He's a New Jersey boy.
Jersey boy.
Right? Okay.
East
From
Coast
Jersey
in the
too.
house.
Yes. And he is of Colombian origin.
Yeah.
Colombia in the house.
He received his BA from Syracuse University, although he's full of BS. TV, radio, and film.
You got that right, honey.
After graduating, he moved to Miami, Florida. He was completely kicked out to penetrate the Latin entertainment scene.
I know, right? What a word.
I was just going to say
What
that.
a word.
I didn't know he was a top.
I know you don't want to believe it.
Can we have a moment of silence? Fake news! But we are very
Believe what you want.
Yeah. We're very
That's crazy.
As if I know. Whatever.
okay. But we're very lucky to have him in LA. He's worked with media companies such as Univision, HDTV, Terra Networks, LATV, and Funny or Die.
Yes.
Moreover, he has interviewed some of the most recognizable names in the world. It's crazy who you've interviewed. From Jennifer Lopez, Kim Kardashian, Antonio Banderas, and this is just naming just
Look
a
at you.
little.
Yeah, the creme de la creme de la
at
creme.
you.
De la creme.
Oh
Yes.
my God.
He is a man of opinions. You've seen him on YouTube staples like Clever TV. TV, you have to say it like that, right?
Oh, yeah, it's Spanish. TV.
TV.
TV. Sí.
Mornings with Fauci. And through his accomplishments, he has garnered international visibility as a journalist and role model in the LGBT and Latino communities, as well as in the entertainment
Where's
community.
my GLAAD award, damn it?
You and me both. It's like,
Right?
Glad you're here.
I know, you're glad I'm here.
you have to be on Pose to win an award.
Oh.
Which I want to be, because it's a great show.
It's a great show.
Yes.
Anything LGBTQ out there right now is really good right now.
Not everything.
More like what?
I'm like the most honest. Like, you don't have to watch every LGBT web series. You don't have
No,
to.
you're right. But like the stuff on like mainstream media, I think is pretty good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they're incorporating writers from both worlds. It's
Yeah.
not just
Exactly.
Yes, and this is what we should be doing: is sharing our stories with.
Sharing
which
is caring.
every one of you in this room has shared your story, literally. Making his On the Rocks debut, please give it up for Dennis Pastorizo. To everybody. Number one.
That's what they said last night.
That's what he said.
He gets applause and I don't. Thanks, Kurt. Number one, what the hell kind of Latino name is Dennis?
I know. You know what? Everybody asks me
What
the same
kind
question.
of Latina name
Is
is Jennifer?
Alexander. What kind of Latino name is
Mama, I am
Alexander?
But the famous,
Alexander.
but the famous Latinas are Jennifer.
Lopez.
We got one here. We got a Jennifer Lopez.
I never heard it
Jennifer
before.
Espinosa?
Esposito.
Espinosa?
Esposito.
Esposito.
Esposito. Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. Is she
Yeah.
Latina?
Do you know in Mexico it's pronounced Jennifer?
Jennifer, yes, because
Jennifer.
the
Can you imagine that at a casting call? Is Jennifer
Jennifer.
Jennifer.
In Mexico, my name is not pronounced at all.
Lindsley?
Because they don't know how to say.
Oh no! You know, in Latin America, a lot of people think that I'm a woman because, like,
For many reasons.
no, because they think it's Denise. They, like, Dennis doesn't really exist in Latin America, so it's like, oh, Denise.
Whatever works, honey.
Yeah.
I have a book of jokes just about that.
I know, right?
No.
like that.
But I joke. But you are bi.
By what?
Bi. You have dipped your toes
Bi-coastal?
in the U.S. and Latin markets.
yes.
And my hat's off to you because you have made so much leeway in each of the markets.
Thank you.
And, you know, the hot topic right now is racial diversity in entertainment.
mío.
I think it's just a cool topic for now. Are things really going to change? I don't know. Are things really getting better for a Latino in the full market?
Okay, so this is interesting that you mentioned because there was a study that came out a while ago, like when I say a while ago, like a month ago, that said that the number of Latinos in media had decreased, which to me seems a little odd because I feel like there's more. Granted that this study had taken place over several years, so I said, I think some of the statistics may be a little outdated because I feel like right now there are a lot more Latinos in mainstream media, or at least of the few that are out there, they're getting more mainstream publicity.
I think that's it. It's the publicity.
Maybe that's what it is.
Because we see like the Mario Lopez,
Yes.
his show. We see a lot of racial diversity actually on those kind of entertainment shows.
Right.
But still, Good Morning America, I don't see a Latino.
You're right.
No.
People were even complaining about the talk not having a Latino.
Today's Show either. No Latino.
Yeah.
You're right. I never thought about
And
that.
you watched Today's Show, Dennis?
And I do watch the Today Show, but then I guess
Hey, today's show, holla.
Come on, Today's Show. Dennis is ready. Call him up.
Alexander is ready to take the
Alexander and
the
Dennis. They're a
podium.
duo.
Which is funny because, there's this whole idea of competition in every one of our fields, right? But nobody is you. Nobody's trying to take your job. So we should support everybody. Like, you and I would probably, well, I don't know.
I don't know. I like how you went reeled back. You're like, I don't know about reverse on that.
No, but like a Latino, who wants to be a Latino funny man on the Today Show?
But wait, what?
Both of us would be up for that.
What's your background, Alexander?
Taco Bell.
Forget Doritos.
Yes. No, so I'm a Latino that can't speak Spanish, to be honest.
That's a lot of Latinos.
Yeah, I mean,
That's a
I
lot.
speak Spanglish, so.
See, I can do that. I can get my way around, but only because I learned Spanish in school. Not because my family didn't try,
Right.
but because I was stupid OC kid,
No.
we're in America, blah, 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 you know?
Well, the thing is with my parents, too. I mean, my dad was Korean
and
my
Mexican.
mom's Mexican, and
Yeah.
they didn't want us to get confused, so they wouldn't. But we were confused anyway, so
So wait, do you speak some English? I'm sorry, you speak some
just
Spanish.
some English.
Do you speak any Korean?
But yeah, no, they didn't want to confuse
Do you
us.
speak Korean? Dennis
No, I can say just a few things.
You can read the menu.
See, and that's interesting, but then people assume that you don't have...
Like I can. That's about it.
No,
No.
Do you have any siblings? Any male
Yeah, I
siblings?
have 2 older siblings, and they
Male or
actually
female?
speak male and female.
Oh God,
And
I
they-
love Korean, man. They're so hot.
Well,
I'm like, is your brother gay?
She would.
well, no,
No, he's not.
Leave it to Dennis. I just talked about your hard-hitting journalism.
Holidays. We all need a date, honey.
I need a little stuffing for my turkey, honey. Okay.
But I do think he's very beautiful.
Gobble, gobble. We need a little bit more than just dark meat. Okay. But I do want to talk about your work.
Drinks, man.
I do want to talk about your work. But actually, that's kind of because I think that's how kind of I grew up too. It's like, you need to fit your environment. And we were fighting so many other things, being a single family in Orange County and all that. It's like,
Everyone just wants to conform.
yeah.
But now
And so
looking
my
back, I'm
family
sure
thought
we
I was
all
doing a
wish we
good
knew
thing.
languages, right?
that's
But
it.
that's the cool thing
That's a
about
problem.
now, I find, with the younger generation is that they're embracing it a little bit more.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like there was this whole thing when I was growing up where you're like, yeah, but I'm Canadian, or
Really?
yeah, but
Yeah.
like you just kind of like you didn't want people to see it,
Okay.
because they would just judge you more.
Well, now Canadians are doing that all over again because of our current nation. No. I'm Canadian. And we have maple syrup. You
Don't forget the bacon.
Everyone loves maple syrup.
guys have the best
Yeah,
bacon.
man.
We really do.
Like, stop it.
I
Bacon
mean,
is
we
bomb.
won't. We won't.
Is that part of the keto
But
diet?
yeah. I
Sure.
have no idea.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's a vegan diet.
Oh, okay.
It's my
Super
vegan
vegan.
diet.
Yeah.
But like when CNN is in different nations, they're literally interviewing kids that don't have a home, that are running on the streets, running away from a bomb. They can speak English. They can speak many different languages. You could never, a newscast from any other country couldn't come and just assume that they
Yeah.
would get an interview.
You're right.
Anyway, we just got a little
No.
dark
Damn, that got a little.
Hit there.
But I do want to talk about your red carpet work. I'm
Yes.
astounded. I literally just named 3 names from the list that goes on from TV and film. But you were a little quirky with your interviews. I know for the American Horror Story, you had the butcher gloves
Yeah.
on. But you have literally spent time with everybody on the red carpet. That's so hard to me. I'm not good on the red carpet because I like to talk and talk and talk, and I'm so fascinated. You have to do that. Not only do you have to do that in seconds, but you have to build a rapport, because a celebrity really only will do a fun interview or a real interview if they feel the trust and rapport.
Sure.
And you have to do that all from hi, I'm Dennis with LATV.
Yeah.
Yeah. And So what would you say would your top tips in how to do that so quickly?
Ay, Dios mío. Just know that you are limited on time, so make sure that you don't like go on and on because some people can go on and on. Your time is limited on the red carpet. Bring some nice breath mints. You know, you gotta smell fresh.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Maybe that's my problem. I'm like, I smell like equality vodka.
Alexander's like, hi.
That's right. And make love to the camera, baby. That's all that matters.
Oh, the smiles.
Yeah.
Wah, wah, wah.
Make sure you make good contact to the camera. You know, that's like your medium. That's your outlet.
But actors really respond to you. And I've seen, like, you know how you get, like, an A-lister walk down there, like, okay, I have to do this and this. And then with you, they're just like, we're
They
just
loosen
hanging
up?
out. Yeah.
I don't know. You know what? It's always a challenge because you never know who's gonna be in a good mood or who's gonna be in a bad mood. So it's just like you just gotta go in it and you just gotta give it your all, and hopefully the person will reciprocate and like pick up on that energy and like give it back to you on camera. So it's always a challenge. It may look easy on camera, but damn it is a challenge. Let me tell you. I go in prepared for the battle.
I want to hear a horror story.
Yeah, like,
No, that's a rapid fire. So we're gonna go.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say, was there anybody that you thought that like would be just horrible, but then was just like the nicest person, and you were just completely taken off guard?
God, that's a good one. I can't think of one right now, but I can think of the horror. I know of the horror stories.
Okay,
we
we'll
can
keep
talk about that later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. All right, Dennis is going to help me keep the show on track. We have an amazing panel tonight. When we talk about art and creating your story, we got it from many different perspectives. And this is what the show is all about, is sharing our stories and realizing we all kind of come from the same place. I want you to meet Tyson Knight, American street artist, was born in You guys, I've been talking all day. I've been
Tongue twister.
You guys,
Susie Sally sells seashells by
I have
the seashore.
literally been
You're
talking
good.
all day.
Take two. Go.
American street artist Tyson Knight was born in Florida.
Okay.
There you go.
That's not as interesting, but sure.
But called New Jersey his home until moving to Philadelphia after high school. He currently resides in Palm Springs, California, where his artwork can be found throughout the area as well as hanging in local galleries. Growing up in the peak of the street art movement, which we're going to talk about, because I was like, what is that? He was inspired by the works of famous street artists such as Jean-Michel Basquiat and Keith Haring. His style also reflects the fine art styles of Pablo Picasso and pop artist Andy Warhol.
Nice.
He uses these influences to create unique pop culture graffiti pieces that not only found on city murals, but in fine art galleries, which is a huge feat. He has blurred the lines between street art and fine art to create something new that captivates people from all walks of life. He is currently on the film festival circuit, however, for his latest film, written, directed, produced, The Art of Hustle. Not Art of the Hustle, but The Art of Hustle, a street art documentary which features which has been featured in numerous film festivals all around the world. It's sparking interest, and it literally talks about what street art is, talks about other artists, one of which is homeless, by the way, in such a beautiful way. Please welcome for his first time on the show, Tyson Knight.
And the crowd goes wild again.
Also joining us, Lindsey Lowell, writer,
What?
poet, actress, and marketing maven, by the way. Author of the book, My Knight in Shining Armor is Coming. He's just stuck in traffic.
He's still stuck.
Yeah, girl. Detailing the tragically hilarious and heartfelt adventures of dating in New York and Los Angeles. She's also the creator of Hercule, which is a new form of poetry based on the haiku, but with 696 syllable format, created in response to the Me Too movement to give women a voice in a new medium. She also has appeared in front of the camera as a correspondent for Gal Time, interviewing celebrities, co-hosting Every Way Woman, online talk show, random acting gigs, and
I'm
creating her own
exhausted already.
cooking videos, by the way. Successful marketing, by the way, has worked with such brands as Coca-Cola, Keds, Mattel, Nautica, Moet Chandon, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Sony Television, and the list goes on and on and on. She can be seen wearing pink daily,
All the time.
and occasionally will do errands in her princess gown and tiara.
I will.
Empowering the
Which is on
female
standby.
spirit. Please welcome Lindsley Lowell.
It's a lot of L's. Thanks, y'all.
Also
glad to be
coming
here.
back to On the Rocks, Jennifer Cheon Garcia.
Woohoo!
So much talent, we need 3 names. Just
Just to make it clear,
Yeah.
you know?
I swear, Sci-Fi's Van Helsing and Casey Kitchen just sends us our favorites. Like it's
I
a
mean,
thing.
we love being here.
Oh, I love
I
it.
mean, come on.
Born in Vancouver, Canada. I said that right. Of Mexican and Korean heritage. Her love for the spotlight was instilled at quite an early age. She was skilled with so many different talents, including dance, theater, music, visual arts, motion capture, and acting. Her unique look led her to a career in modeling, which then carried to the world of commercials. At 19, she landed her first feature film, Eve and the Fire Horse. Also, found her true calling through hard work and persistence. A steady
clawing.
stream. That's what you got to do.
Showgirls. What?
Girlfriend's Guide to Divorce, Zoo, Minority Report, Arrow, Supernatural, The 100, Lucifer, and Travelers, amongst many others.
Ooh, Lucifer.
She won. Oh, that was a great scene, by the way. She was the sexy girl, like, we're gonna get it on.
Great bra.
Yeah.
Just to let you know, that was all bra.
And she's got
girl.
the body
It
for
was
it,
all
honey.
that. And you're like, if she wants to say that's okay. And I was like, She also won a Leo Award for Best Actress for her role in the critically acclaimed web series The Drive. Currently stars as Ivory, our favorite kick-ass bad girl who's not, who's like in like the grit and the grime, but she's still gorgeous. Van Helsing, currently
That's your
airing.
type? Okay.
No, but I'm saying it's like through that all. Yes, there's a beauty to Ivory. And I love that the name is Ivory, a beautiful, and then there's this.
I know.
That's what I love. Currently airing its 4th season, she also portrayed the villainous Midnight in the season 5 premiere of CW's Supergirl, which debuted last month.
Nice.
Good
Please
show.
welcome back J.C. J. Oh God, I'm back. J.G.C. Woohoo! Oh my God. Sorry, I got the notes. And I had built it up. I even wrote apostrophe
Garcia's
after,
new, so
exclamation point after. Yeah,
Alex,
that
I don't
is
know how
new.
you do it. I mean, I feel like you just give it all that energy, and I'm like, where does he breathe? Like, how does he get that
I
air
know.
in?
Oh,
He
thank
is
you.
on it.
This footage just has me like this.
I know.
And people's like, do you
Oh my
do
God, I just noticed that
cocaine?
camera. Oh, shoot.
I don't realize there's a camera over there looking at me the whole time.
I did not just realize that.
We have different camera shots though. But people say, oh, do you do cocaine? I'm like, bitch, doesn't look like I do cocaine. G.
Stop.
So I want to open up with an icebreaker for everybody, even though we have
have any ice.
cracked
We
the
have
ice.
breaked the
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's what I love about this show. It's like walking into a bar.
Very lit bar.
The only ice I like is on my neck, honey.
Ay, Dios mío.
I don't want ice anywhere near me, by the way.
Yeah, thank you. I'll pass.
Okay.
Say what? Say what?
Anyway, I want to talk about the roles of masculine, feminine in entertainment. It's affected us all. Tyson, coming from the artist world, your art can be considered very masculine in its world. From inspiration to execution, it's on the street. It's very urban. It has this masculinity. Dennis, you are a very open and proud host
Yes.
in the Latino world, which
Yeah.
we know is not always the most welcome. Lindsley, you celebrate the feminine with your pink hair, princess outfits, involvement with the Me Too movement, and your book.
Strong ass woman.
Yeah. And Jen, we literally see you kick ass. Literally see you kick ass.
And I do cut things off too.
Yeah.
Oh.
But you hold your own action and fighting sequences with male counterparts in Van Helsing. But we also see the feminine quality in your modeling work and your diva quality.
And just in person, look at her. She's so freaking gorgeous.
Yes.
Yeah.
And her Instagram is
Yes.
gorgeous.
But if you were on Survivor, you would want her on your team too.
Absolutely.
Yes, I
Oh,
agree.
yes.
Absolutely.
And so there's
Actually, you would, because I would take care of you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
I would.
I would probably die.
I would appreciate that.
No, you wouldn't. Not on my watch.
Not on your, well, yeah, but on my
no,
own.
on his own. He'd be like, I need to go shopping on the island. And then he'd be like, wow, he was eaten by a small lizard.
You're right, though.
We'd send you the enemy and you convert them and have them all join our team.
Oh,
So
right.
what do you mean? Yeah.
But are we still fighting with this idea of masculine, feminine roles in entertainment? What has your personal experience been?
You know, for me as an actor, like, I know that most of my friends are probably out there like, girl, we can tell from a mile away that you're gay. A blind man
I
can
saw
see
you
that
as an
you're gay.
elf, by the way, and you were like, Santa girl, sit down. Do some cardio.
But for me, recently, I actually got booked on a show, and pretty much all the characters on that show were somehow involved in, like, the LGBTQ world. And for me, that was, like, an eye opener because they always, I always hear this talk about representation, and I'm like, well, I don't really feel like underrepresented or misrepresented. But then when I went into that set and I noticed that the whole storyline revolved around gay characters, and that even my character, they didn't, it didn't necessarily say that it was gay or anything, but it could be implied that he was gay. I thought that was pretty cool. I was like, oh, freak. Like, I feel like, yes, we do need this. Like, now I can finally play a role that is a little closer to myself, because I really don't see that many casting calls for. I mean, I do see for some gay characters, but not that many, to be honest with you. So that's my experience.
I get called out a lot to represent the gay and LGBT.
Yeah? Like what kind of lesbians or trans?
Yeah, generally. Yeah, a lot of the roles that I don't.
Because it's the strength that I think that you bring.
And I mean, I just love that love is being represented.
Sure.
And the fact that now the conversation is starting to change a little bit. I mean, it's never over, I think, the conversation. You have to keep going. I don't want this to be a movement.
Right.
And that's why when I hear that, no, I don't want this to be a hashtag. Like, I want this to keep going.
Like a norm.
A norm, yeah. Like, this has to just be something that we keep pushing through instead of it just being something that is trending and what's getting viewers in, because now people just think like, oh, that's going to bring in this, or it's making money now or whatever. But I mean, if that's someone's intention, okay, fine. But then I really, really hope it keeps echoing through. That's not the end.
Right.
And it should keep echoing through, because if you look at the shows that are wildly popular, Modern Family, right? Mm-hmm. Open gay couple, they adopted a child. Look at Back in the Day with Will and Grace.
Well,
right?
now there's back.
Like, why can't we just have representation of every single kind of person on Earth? Like, why does it have to be? Oh no, it's got to be this perfect family, and unfortunately, I am watching like Hallmark Channel on like.
Oh, but those are so
the first movie. No. But I want to take the conversation more than the LGBT community, because we're talking about what our roles are, whether you're gay or not, as to what's masculine, as to what's feminine.
Oh.
What I love about Van Helsing is that it's all cohesive. Mm-hmm. Every villain's up for grabs. Every hero is up for grabs. You beat the shit of whoever you need to. That's just part of it. But it's like, kind of growing up, I think we're all like, this is what your role is as a man, this is what your role is as a woman. And I think we're fighting through that. Yeah. But I think we have to fight through it. It's not just happening.
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, I grew up, my father always treated us like he didn't treat us like girls. He treated us like we need to grow up and be strong and be smart and say your mind and go and conquer the world. So, I always felt that way. I went to an all-girl private school.
I heard that's the best thing that you could do. My mom
it was
went
amazing.
to an all-private girls'
It
school.
was amazing because I didn't care about how I looked. We didn't compete about how we looked or who. Oh, I have a crush on Andy. Who cares?
I have a crush on Sandy.
Yeah. Well, and we had lesbians in our class, and whatever, that's fine.
Yeah.
But it was more about coming together as teammates and being competitive on your brain, right?
Your
And then when I got into the real world, I didn't even question, when they were like, oh, who has the answer? I raised my hand really high. I was like, oh, I'm speaking out. And, I am attractive. I did get hit on lots of times, in business. And I've been in the corporate world. And so I think that that's always been difficult, because you're like, how much do you use that? And I always downplayed it. I would go in a full-on business suit and just kill it, with a group of board members and be like, stop looking at who I am as a human being and like a skin and flesh. Listen to what I'm saying.
Yes.
And that was what it was all about. But we can't ignore how everyone looks and who you are. You're a full package, right? So I love when people are like, oh, I don't see color. Oh, I don't see gender. Yes,
bullshit.
you do, honey. That is such crap. You do.
And that's the thing about Hollywood. I don't think that, let's be more diverse. It's dollar signs. That's what
course
they're
it
is.
to.
It's
the
always
buying
dollar
money.
signs.
Yeah. If the LGBT community wasn't spending so much money, then they wouldn't be including us.
Exactly.
I agree.
It's all about money.
Money talks.
And so I want to talk about the art world, because I have to say this is the genre I am the least informed on or have the least experience.
Growing up, I grew up in hip hop and graffiti, so I didn't see a lot of women doing street art at that time. So it was a very masculine thing with rap music. All that was very masculine when I was growing up. But I see now you got a lot of phenomenal women as street artists.
God, American Music Awards,
Yeah.
it was like, it was ladies
So,
night.
I mean, they're talented, man. And I think that's good because that's pushing the culture forward, you know. And it's a lot of just famous and women artists that's just phenomenal. Like when I did the Bench Project in Palm Springs, I added Frida Kahlo.
Yeah. That's
to
one of my
those
favorite
benches.
pieces of yours, by the way.
Yeah, so I mean, and I got a great reception for that. Great, you know, people really, really like that.
Because she's a woman, or because it's like here on the West Coast and
I
like
just
does
think
that
I
big...
just think Frida Kahlo she
Probably
just
a bit of
embraces a
both.
lot of different things. I mean, I think her story's bigger than just being an artist. I think she went through a lot of trials and tribulations to get where she's at, and people loved it, and I love it. And I actually went back and really learned a lot about her. And I was fascinated what I learned. So
I think that's the biggest thing. We adhered to images. I remember when Che Guevara's image was an Ivy T-shirt because it was pop culture, and it's like, well, let's do our research. And I think a lot of people have rediscovered who Frida Kahlo was and what she did. And I didn't even think about street art and graffiti art from a women's point of view because that wasn't even on my radar.
it wasn't really, back then it really wasn't, something that women did. That was more of, you were either breakdancing, you were graffiti, or you was a rapper. And then, women started getting to rap and making their own lanes. And you got like Nicki Minaj, Cardi B.
Yeah.
And, they're really, like right now, they're really
Oh, I thought you said rap.
Yeah, rap, yeah.
I was making a joke.
Oh,
I like them.
Cardi B minus.
yeah. So, right now, to me, I mean,
Sorry, I had to.
a lot of the hip hop
you,
artists, the female hip hop artists, they're really, really like controlling the game right now.
Yeah.
So it's really cool. Like, I mean, it's for me, for my lifetime, it's really been a blessing to see the whole thing just kind of get pushed forward. And
You know
Well, so
what I
much
think
of
would
it's
be really
inspiring
cool?
in your
Sorry.
art. Yeah, no.
For the hip hop community with women, it would be great to see a rap artist that's not like, if you look at male rappers and female rappers always have to be naked.
yeah.
You know?
I never even
Well,
thought
no,
about
you
that.
know what?
Like
But
they're all, little Kim,
Yes.
Nicki,
Right.
Cardi.
Like
That's
they-
also
Even Lizzo
that's
plays
also
some
many
sexuality.
industries.
Like,
But that's what the
That's
audience
not just
want.
the rap industry; it's many industries
Yeah,
when
but I think-
women have to be naked.
But I think that,
Although I have to say, walking around with no pants on is awesome.
Like with no pants, but like you got like a
But like
bikini
Beyonce,
bottom,
like
or...
Beyonce style,
Yeah.
there's something so empowering about rocking.
It is,
walking,
but
like
a
a
I
onesie. with
can't
Oh,
twerk.
yeah.
I'm never gonna
And you're like,
twerk.
I
It's
slay.
not gonna happen. And if someone's gonna judge me on being feminine by my or being powerful by my twerking power, I'm dead. Like it's not gonna
that's what
happen.
But there's also-
that's
it-
what the audience wants.
And so that's
They
the
want
but
to
that
see
that is the
'cause
weird
you do
dichotomy.
have-
And they are
when
selling
does,
a
when
product.
does sex stop and when does your power as an intellect begin?
when they start making money off it in the music business.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
here's
that's
the
the
thing.
I think it's
question.
a little
But
bit
then
of
we-
both, because there's nothing
It
wrong
is
with also
both.
wanting to.
There's
twerk,
nothing
and
wrong
that
with wanting
makes
to be
you feel
naked.
sexy,
Nothing wrong with
you
it.
know?
There's nothing wrong
Or
with it.
celebrating your sexuality. If you go to the gym and want to show off your body, show off your body.
I mean, look at
However
Jason
your body
Derulo.
looks like, exactly.
Did you guys see that thing with Jason Derulo? That Instagram post where he had like some. I don't know. They weren't even like boxer briefs on, but it looked like he had a heart on. And
Yes.
And then somebody
I
said,
saw it.
somebody said like, well, what's in there? And I think he responded, anaconda.
Okay.
Of course
and it
he
set
did.
the
But
internet
that's all
on
a
fire.
man has. I mean, a woman has like the sexuality going
Yeah,
at
it's
any
a lot
size. It's like,
more.
But
Yeah,
for a man,
boobs.
sexuality.
it's a lot more things
yeah. Okay, all right.
His sex sold.
It,
mean,
sex
sex
sells.
does sell.
I mean,
Sex
sex
always
sells.
will
I mean,
sell.
Sex sells. I mean, that's
Sex
Yeah.
sells.
But you do have, to answer your question, you do have conscious female rappers out there. They just don't get the mainstream appeal because people
of
want to
that.
hear the Cardi B's and Nicki Minaj. If Cardi B even quoted saying, when I put out music, that's
The other stuff doesn't, right? This whole.
That's right.
Did anyone see the movie Patty Cakes?
No.
no.
It
Let me
was
guess. It was.
Unbelievable. Or the
She did
female.
like a black
Right.
guy
Yeah,
in the movie
she
and
falls
her,
in love with a black
her
guy.
mom worked at a diner.
Is it a
or
movie
something.
or a
Exactly.
I think I saw
It's
that.
a movie.
It was on
Oh,
Netflix.
okay.
I think I saw it a while
It's
back. I think now it was just,
phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's sort of like the Eminem,
Yeah.
but not as angry.
Yeah, I think I saw that. Yeah.
Because Eminem is
I saw
always
that, yeah.
so friggin' angry.
Right.
He's
Drives me
softened
crazy.
up now. He's like doing baking shows.
drives me
If-
crazy.
He is?
Yeah.
That's not
Drives me.
He's
That's
somebody that should be
masculinity,
naked more.
No. honey.
I know.
He
Oh, I
can
think
keep
he's
it-
so cute.
Are you hearing that, Eminem?
He
Get
can keep his
naked.
clothes on.
Alexander wants you to get naked.
Yeah.
All right. He's in. Yeah.
Oh crap.
There you go.
Are you in there?
It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, your head got cut off.
That's fine. Then I have to Facetune myself. Okay.
Do you want me to? I have a long arm.
That's what the last guest said. I was like,
We can gather around
no,
you.
It's cute.
We
No,
can-
it's cute.
we can
We're going to
rush
take
you.
pictures after, but believe me. All right. And we are back.
Oh, we are. Damn girl.
Fast.
I was gonna blot, but I'll just blot right now
Take
because
care
you
of
know.
that T-zone.
Thank you.
I want another drink of Equality vodka.
Yeah, please. It's right in front of you, girl.
Where's my mixer, yo?
It's right here.
Right here.
Jen, you filmed your first feature film at 19.
Is that how old I was? Dang.
That's pretty young. In terms of cutting your teeth, since then you've done so many different types of projects. How has acting changed the most from your point of view?
I have learned to say no, which is a big thing because you want the job so bad and you want to eat and you want to put a roof over your head and all of these things, but you sometimes compromise what you're comfortable with. And then I started feeling the repercussions of that. And now I feel like I'm finally in a place where I can own myself more. And for a long time, you know, I would act and loved being in character because I didn't like being myself. I didn't want to look for that person because every single time I went to that person, it was always really dark and sad.
Yeah.
But it's been a long journey of the ugly and, you know, turning that sadness and putting it into art and figuring out different things that now it's funny. It's like I heard this quote and now it makes sense. You know, you want to get good at your art, get good at your life.
Yes.
And I always kind of thought it was the other way around. And I would kind of stay there and then wondering why I'm staying here and why am I still attracting this? And, you know, and it's hitting your head a lot of times. But now I feel like I'm finally in a place where I know what I will do and what I won't do.
Beautiful.
What have you said no to?
Oh,
Good question.
what I say
Good
no
question,
to
Denise.
is exploiting love. Like we were talking about same sex relationships, and I hate it when I read material and they are just exploiting someone's story.
Like
So
in
I
what
will
sense?
say no to that. Like, you know, you have a girl and another girl that love each other, but they want to see how you love each other and how that
Very
happens
explicit.
and very explicit. And I'm like, is that really what it's about? No, it's not.
I think a lot of people write about relationships and they're missing the whole point
Just
of what
for
a
the
relationship
kissing
is.
scene, and
Yeah.
you're just like, come on, man. What about all the other stuff?
Right.
The real stuff.
Or
Write
they
a
saying about
relationship.
sex sells. I know, that's a problem.
But
So yeah.
And I know, Jen, you suffered from bullying as a kid, and you turned that kind of bullying energy into art. One of the emails I got, because you did an interview that a lot of people took to heart, where you literally just talked about the bullying. How does one change that energy? Because we all receive bullying, even to this day, on some level, where it's some idiot on social media,
Yeah.
whether it's in our life or what have you. It's really hard to say, hey, I'm not going to get angry and I'm just not going to be bitter about this, but to actually change that energy towards good. What was that turning point where you decided, I'm going to do something different with this energy?
it was crazy. That energy and that negativity was like the fuel for my grind for so long. And it would be the thing that, like, you know, I needed to have that geek to chic moment. I needed that bully to know that
I love that.
I made it, and I made it regardless of whether you thought I was cool or not or whatever. And then I just got to a point where, you know what? There's a whole generation of people that are feeling the exact same things that I'm feeling, and 10,000 times more, because now it travels with them home. Like, I got to go to the farm, and I got to kind of escape that. But now with social media, they can touch you anywhere at any time, and you're just, it's constant. There's websites dedicated to how uncool you are.
Oh my gosh.
And I just thought, well, if someone's actually giving me a microphone, literally, then what can I do? What can I say?
Yeah.
And that was the first thing that came to my mind. And then just going through that process of, like I said, getting good at who you are
Absolutely.
to take that out.
Yeah.
And
You
the
said farm. Do you know how to milk a cow, honey?
We didn't have cows.
What do you do on a farm? Like, what kind of farm did you have?
I had a horse farm.
You had a horse farm. Oh,
She knows how to ride a horse.
But it was a lot of shoveling shit.
Oh, no. Oh, my gosh.
I'm from the entertainment field. Same.
So, like, what would you do with the horses? Like, were they for shows or
Ride
something?
them.
Yeah, equestrian. Ride them.
No.
I'm gonna take ride till I
Yeah.
get
Yeah, okay.
Like, with pigs, you make ham. With, cows, you
We
make
didn't
milk.
slaughter anything.
Oh my God! Don't talk about horses and glue. She's gonna
I was
cry.
just literally.
But with horses, what do you do?
Well, it's equestrian riding. So my dad, he was a jumper.
Oh, wow.
So
Nice.
and then he would like buy and sell horses
Beautiful.
and stuff like that.
Nice.
So we had
That's a rich girl
a
sport.
lot of,
It is, girl.
Equestrian.
No, it is.
It was a very Caucasian sport. So we were the only people that was like Korean, and they were like, "What the?" Like they
They're
kept
like,
thinking
why
that
are
we
you
were-
here?
I love
that
that,
we
though.
were the grooms, and they kept going. My dad would have to fight off so much of that crap.
Wait, what
I
do you mean?
bet.
Like, he would have to fight off what?
They didn't know that he was there to actually
Well,
ride.
be
a
a
on the
rider,
horse.
you know?
Oh, I know. Okay, so they'd be like,
So they would be like the groom.
Right?
grooms
They're like
that
they're
way.
like
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
that's
He's
the
like-
back
I get what you
entrance.
mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I was in high school at Coto de Casa, which you know in Orange County, they're like, "Oh no, the servants' entrance is around the back." I was like,
Oh my!
Not only in at season 2, right?
Yes.
Now we're into it. Of
Can you recreate it right now?
Does your husband like getting
Please.
beaten up, honey?
well, you know
Oh well.
the funny thing about Supergirl, actually, it was the first time you got to work with your husband. He
I
was
did.
the director for this
Nice.
episode, playing a villain.
I know. I'm always the villain. I'm really
He's
nice,
so
guys.
nice. What was it like filming with your husband?
Actually, it was a lot of fun. I was worried about that, so I told him, I was like, okay, if I start going like this, it means you have to check your phone.
Wait, let
We
people
got
know.
something to talk.
Let people know what that is in case they're
Or if I
listening to
go
us.
over to you and I say something about that talk, so get in front of him.
Beautiful.
He knows how to talk to people. He knows that it's an emotional job. Every department. That's something that's really nice
That's
to be around.
sexy, I think.
Right?
Yes.
I was just like,
A lot of electrical energy going around.
Yes.
But there's that dichotomy as an actress you have to have. You have to be like, okay, creatively I'm this actress, but then I have to do this physicality. I mean, that weighs double. We all know from camera work, like it's exhausting to be in front of the camera and just do lines and do that. But then on top of that, you know, there's this physicality.
well, I mean, thankfully, a lot of the characters that I do get to play get to be kick-ass warriors and such. And so with that part comes the physicality. And, you know, my character swings a gigantic axe, so I want to look like I can.
Yeah.
I
swing
love
it.
a big axe.
Don't we all?
Do we?
True that.
Were you very physical before you got into these types of roles?
I was a dancer first, and
Okay.
then made that transition. And like that's the thing that like me and my dad did is he would go through patterns with me in Taekwondo, and
Oh, wow.
and now I'm finally going for my belts and actually going through the belt system.
Wow.
But yeah.
Wait, so your dad knows how to do Taekwondo too?
Yeah.
Wow.
I feel like it's a prerequisite if you're Korean.
Everybody wants
The
kung fu
Taekwondo, if you're
fighting.
Korean.
So yeah, I was, but now it's funny because your physical side I feel like is really connected to your emotional side, and because of certain traumas that happened in my life, even though I'm tall, I didn't really understand how much I could actually reach and how much I could actually fight. And like that's why I feel like everybody should learn, because you really see what you're made of. It's incredible what the
nice.
human body can do.
How tall are you?
The truth, I'm 6 feet.
Just like
Amazing.
without the heels.
With the heels, flat.
And with the heels, because you're like I was astounded by how tall you are
What is
in
that,
person. I'm like, she's so tall. I didn't
It's
know.
a beautiful
Whatever that
gazelle.
No, yeah,
Yes,
just-
Dennis is going to be wearing those heels on the Zoo next week.
I love them. They look very comfy.
They actually are.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
I want to talk about a form of art that I don't fully understand. And Tyson, that is in your world, like I said.
Okay.
We see all forms of graffiti, from bathroom art, which Dennis is familiar with.
With his phone number on it?
Yeah.
Call him. Call Dennis.
Oh my
But
God.
here's the thing. Before you just say
I think I've been in some of that bathroom art back in the day.
Fiesta Cantina. It was not a Fiesta.
So classy.
No, but people remember, like, for a good time call. Now it's for a good time text. Oh, because nobody wants to talk on the phone. No, but like, there is art in bathrooms. There's a certain aesthetic. To billboard enhancements, to full murals on aqueducts and on sides of buildings, abandoned buildings here in LA. This is one form of art. I would love to know, what is street art? What was the street art movement?
Well, the street art movement came out of the late 70s, early 80s, out of rebellion. Just not really having a platform. Fine art was actually, fine art has always been the echelon of the art world. Let's be honest about that.
Yep.
It was guys that, they were creative and didn't have an outlet, weren't put into galleries. So I'm going to go on the streets and just paint on stuff. And it kind of started from there. But some of it kind of got off into like gang tagging and things of that nature. So that's where graffiti really got its bad name from gang tagging and things of that nature.
But it was still as a form of expression and having an identity. Even whatever the motive was, that's how people express themselves, still through art.
Yeah. Yeah. But, now that, street art has become this, like, world-renowned thing now, you got street artists making, a living, doing wall murals, doing commission work and things of that nature. But back in the early days, it was just, you know what? I'm going to put something up. The other crew is going to know that's my work.
At midnight, right?
Yeah, at midnight. They're going to know that's my work. And then it'd be this back and forth battle. Never went any bloodshed, but it was always this back and forth. I'm going to outdo you.
It's like a dance-off for
artists.
artists.
Like I'm going to outdo you.
Yeah.
This type of thing.
I mean, I'll give it to them. They were working the graveyard shift. I mean, not
They
every,
were.
for free, honey.
And that was the risk, and that was the excitement too, in a way, right?
It's an adrenaline rush, because I've done graffiti in the middle of the night and stuff like that when I first started out. It's like a really adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
When you're doing something and it's kind of like got
It's
a little bit
creating
of danger
art
behind
super
it. Yeah.
fast.
And then you get to see it the next morning, like, yo, that's mine right there. I did that right
Did
there.
you hear? I remember I
You're like, who's that
That's
art?
me right
Oh my
there.
God, that
You know?
person was up there
So,
in the middle of the
Did you ever
night.
have to run?
Absolutely.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely.
Have you ever been arrested?
No. And I don't want to.
What was that thing going on here in LA where, like, people who were doing the murals on the side of the buildings, did you hear about that? Like, there was this whole big old kerfuffle, I guess.
Was it commissioned or just...
Kerfuffle?
Yeah,
Judge Judy?
I love that you just use the word
I know.
kerfuffle, because I
She
love
uses
that
that.
word.
Was it commissioned or just...
I think there was an issue with people, like, doing, murals and stuff on the side of the buildings because they were going to be torn down or something because it wasn't, like, licensed, or I don't know. It wasn't...
Condemned
the
buildings?
the artwork wasn't licensed? Or
Or something to that
you
effect,
covered
like
this
the
in-
government was...
In your documentary. The thing is that there was a mural artist who created a mural on a building that had been there
Yes.
forever.
Yes.
And then the building owner tore it down. They sold the building, tore it down. The artist sued for
Yes.
$1 million.
You can do that. Yeah.
Yes, that's what it
Because
is.
nobody
You can
asked
sue.
him, hey, we're
Yeah.
going to tear down this.
Did he? What
he
happened?
had rights to that because the
Well,
art was enjoyed.
It had to be commissioned work, though. That's
Right, exactly. It
That's the
can't-
key
yeah.
point. That
Yeah.
it had to be commissioned through the city, and it's a lot of red tape to get public artwork done through the city. I'm going to tell you that. It's a lot of red tape.
And
You
there's
get paid for that?
Yeah.
Okay.
But there's that red tape is who's determining if this is art or not, and the people usually making those decisions are in suits that have no clue
Yes.
what art is.
No
Yes.
idea.
But you're right, and the thing is, my artwork is so different from what Palm
Yeah.
Springs traditionally has.
Yes.
And it's funny because one of the commissioners was from San Francisco, and he liked the Warhol pop art thing going. So that's why he brought me in. But, most people like my work. Most people like the benches, the bright colors. There's some people like, that sucks,
Oh my God.
What did you
You're like, thank you, sir.
that sucks.
Art is
What did you do with
subjective.
that colors? Why did you pick that? Because we're trying to usher in something new, something fresh to Palm Springs.
Bring some joy.
Yeah.
Well, and Palm Springs has been the center of modern art
Yes,
on so many
modernism,
different
yes.
levels. And now your work is literally on anywhere from the fine art galleries there
Yes.
to this bench art
Yes.
project,
Yes.
where your work is literally in your face, in the
Yes.
community, and it adds this vibrancy. That's what's
Yes.
happening to Palm
Yes.
Springs. Palm Springs is not just the old, the gays and grays anymore. It's just vibrant.
Well, that's what
so
they're
exciting.
that's what they're bringing to the city.
Yeah.
So for them to even commission me to do that was just really a big deal. Now they're bringing all this different type of art into the city, and they're going to build a city park, and they're going to bring the Marilyn Monroe statue back. You ever
Yeah.
seen that
So
Marilyn
cool.
Monroe statue?
I remember
down
that statue. Yeah.
there? Yeah,
I didn't
it's
know about that.
huge. Yeah, they bought it. They actually bought that statue.
Wait, where was it before? Like, where did it go?
It was
It went to
here.
Japan.
It went to Japan. It
Yep.
was Chicago.
But it was originally in Palm Springs.
Yep.
It was
Okay.
in New Jersey too.
Not in my hometown.
You know what?
Maryland gets around.
Still going tour, so can Maryland.
Yeah, right.
It was a great. I mean, it was a tourist trap, but
Yeah.
it's a piece of art.
So I'm just blessed to be part of that movement with Palm Springs. I think the timing was perfect for me to get into that business with them. So I'm really cool. I'm really blessed about that.
Well, I think it's a certain moment where art on all forms is progressing. The
Yeah.
fact that street art is now in fine art galleries,
Yes.
that's breaking down walls between classes, between even racial diversity.
Yeah.
Art can come from any form.
Yes.
And graffiti art has inspired fonts that we see all the time, colors,
Tattoos.
and tattoos.
Are you going to Art Basel?
Yes, I'm going to Art Basel. I'm going to be exhibiting there actually.
Ooh,
That's
fun.
amazing.
Yeah, I'm going to be exhibiting there, and I'm actually going to be doing a live art performance for Art Basel.
Oh.
So you're gonna do like a whole
painting
street art
live?
thing.
Yeah.
Oh my
Painting
God.
live, yeah. Painting live, yeah.
Very
I'm gonna be painting
cool.
live.
That's awesome.
And I heard about that, which has this energy, which kind of adds your work as a graffiti artist, where you have to do it real quick,
Yeah.
and there's like a potential
Yeah.
audience, but then this is something you've been commissioned
Yes.
to do. I want to take a peek at just the beginning of The Art of Hustle. This is a documentary. Tyson went from artist to writer, director, producer of this documentary
Yeah.
that is sweeping the film festival circuit, by the way. Let's take a peek at the beginning.
When I discovered that I had a talent for art, I went into it as wanted to be creative. And now that I understand being creative and how creativity can connect with people and bring people together, I look at it as partly my duty to inspire others, to inspire other artists, to inspire people that's not artists. I've always had a saying, and I always go by this saying, it's better to give than receive. I know in my artwork, I'm gonna give more than I ever receive. And guess what? I wouldn't want it any other way. This is Tyson Knight, and this is the art of hustle.
And this documentary, you can actually watch on YouTube. It celebrates Tyson's work, but it also celebrates other artists. Like I said, one of the artists who is homeless. Did you get pushback from both sides of the art community, from the fine art community, also from the street art community, like, oh, you sold out?
Uh-oh.
You're gonna get. I mean, with anything you do, especially me doing the artwork, anything you do, you're gonna have people, segment people that's not gonna like what you do.
Yeah.
And I'm okay. Some people say, oh, you fine art world. I mean, I got a lot of pushback. I had joined a gallery in Palm Springs, a Desert Art Center, and they never had a graffiti art where some people are more strong.
God,
I was about to say,
So they're giving it. All you have to do is, and you're entered. I'm not sick. Anyway, so but Instagram hash, and you're entered.
Doing
God.
shelter and being. You hear me? I'm a human. I'm not gonna say everything.
What even feel?